Hey guys, I'm Law. Welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of What If Asta was Shazam. I hate long intros, so let's start the video. It had been a couple of days after Asta had received his abilities, and he had been training ever since. Not only making himself stronger, but also having better control of his magic. He mostly trained in his magic whenever he transformed into Shazam, considering he already had abnormal super strength, and was just getting used to the feeling of magic. Even with the wisdom of Solomon giving him the ability to understand the mechanics of magic, he still didn't have full control and practice of magic compared to everyone else. Hell, his magic control was so bad at first that he almost set a forest on fire after releasing too much lightning, causing a tree to set ablaze from a bolt of lightning. Luckily, he was able to take out the fire with a simple thunderclap, sending a shockwave of air dispersing the fire. Considering the Magic Knight's entrance exam was in 6 months, Asta had been doing nothing more than just training. Well, he had been doing more than just training. After the Wizard of Shazam said that he used his powers to help the world, Asta took it upon himself to help various people across the Forsaken realm of the Clover Kingdom. Not only would he use his powers for good before joining the Magic Knights, it also gave him a good excuse to just fly around the country. These deeds would range from helping people clear out some magic beasts in a forest that were destroying crops, or saving children from drowning in lakes, and stopping robberies from various villages. This would actually go on for a couple of weeks, as Asta would surprisingly build a reputation for himself around the Forsaken realm, and even some parts of the Commoner realm. Many mages would think that Asta was a magic knight, but was quickly disproved by Asta himself, saying that he was just a commoner from Hodge and wanted to help, and soon that he's going to become the Wizard King. Asta would have many names as he continued to help people, such as the Lightning Wizard, the Champion, Mr. Thunder. I don't know how he got that name. But one that really stuck out to him was Captain Marvel, aka the Captain for short. As Asta's reputation grew, it would cause Yuno to train harder and apply his wind magic in more unique ways. Everything was looking alright with how the two young mages were progressing, though it could have been better if Asta hadn't met some very not so nice magic knights earlier. In the 2 months Asta had been helping people, one day he would be flying across the Forsaken Realm, and he noticed that a village was being infested by several dozens of giant spiders. The village was pretty close to an open dungeon, which must have led a few monsters escaping. 3 magic knights were already at the scene, although if Asta had to be honest with himself, they didn't look like they were actually prioritizing the safety of the citizens and just wanted to beat the monsters. He knew that these spiders weren't that strong, as they were easily taken out by 1 or 2 attacks from the magic knights, plus they didn't look tired or seem to be struggling by the spiders in general. Asta saw citizens running from the spiders, and he noticed the little girl was about to get attacked and quickly intervened. He used the speed of Mercury to pick up the girl and fly her to safety, just outside the village. He did this with most of the villages, as now he didn't have to worry about the citizens getting in harm's way. He then sped back to the village, and quickly took out all the remaining spiders. It wasn't really that hard, as they all died with 1 punch. Once all the spiders were defeated, the citizens would cheer in joy, mostly for Asta, as he was the one that actively got people to safety and defeated most of the spiders. Asta would land down, accepting the praise, although it was short-lived, as one of the magic knights would yell at him. "Hey, just who the hell are you, and what squad are you from?" Asta turned around to see the 3 magic knights that wore purple orca robes were standing a good distance behind him. Asta would answer by saying his name was Asta, but he also went by the name Captain Marvel, making some of the commoners' eyes widen as they heard rumors about this magic knight known as Captain Marvel. Well, he wasn't a magic knight yet. He also told them that he wasn't a magic knight, thus not being in a squad. This resulted in one of the purple orca knights having a very annoyed look on his face. "Regardless, we did not need your assistance," one of the purple orcas said, as then he spoke to the village chief, demanding that they now had to pay double for the extermination of the spiders. His excuse was was for him and his magic knights needed compensation for both the time-consuming task and the exhaustion of the mission. This would cause the villagers to yell out in protest, saying that they can't legally do that, as they have already paid the necessary fee for extermination of the spiders. Not to mention that this village wasn't very rich, and if they found themselves to pay the quote-unquote compensation, that would leave the village in ruins. They would also argue that the knights weren't even doing a good of a job, because Asta was the one that actually took them to safety and actually defeated most of the spiders. Enough! The magic knights yelled as he held out a ball of fire menacingly, making the villagers quiet down. "You will provide us with what we asked, or else there would be consequences. After all, it's the least you commoners could do for us magic knights working so hard." The purple orca knight said the last part in a very cocky tone. "Like hell you are. I saw how you guys were handling those monsters, and none of you were barely putting in any effort taking out those spiders. Also, I can sense your magic. You have more than enough to not be exhausted," Asta said as he stepped forward to the purple orca knights. "Also, I may not know much about the law, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal for magic knights to threaten money, especially if mission fee has already been paid," Asta said, angering the purple orca knights, making the citizens relieved that Asta was stepping up for them. "This is none of your business, boy. Step aside, or else," the magic knight with fire said, intensifying his flames, with the other two looking at Asta ready to start a fight. Asta didn't look fazed by this and only glared at the three men. "Or else what?" Asta said with his guard up, still glaring at the three mages. Though before a fight could actually start, a voice broke out the silence. "I'm also curious. What else is gonna happen?" Everyone turned to see Yami Sukihiro, captain of the Black Bulls, walking towards the group. Behind him was Finral, another member of the Black Bulls. The moment the purple orca realized it was the captain of the Black Bulls, he immediately doubled down on the threat and quickly made an excuse that they were mistaken, and they quickly left the village on their brooms. "Whoa, thanks for the help. That could have gotten real ugly and really fast," Asta said to Captain Yami. Although Asta would question what exactly the captain of a Magic Knight squad was doing in these parts of the Clover Kingdom, with Yami essentially just telling him he had to do some last-minute investigation on the dungeon that appeared close to the village, and he also happened to see Asta take care of those spiders that escaped from the dungeon. Yami and Finral will honestly be interested from the rumors about this Captain Marvel person. Not only was he powerful from the amounts of magic he was releasing, but his ki felt different. Both his ki and magic felt different from the way Yami sensed it. This kid was definitely interesting, and did something that would honestly surprise Asta. "Hey, you're an interesting guy. Take this," Yami said, handing over a Black Bull's robe towards Asta, shocking him greatly. Though as much as Asta wanted to join the Magic Knight squad, and quickly rise up the ranks to become the Wizard King, he at least wanted to take the test and prove himself that he is actually capable of being a Magic Knight. Yami would laugh at this, but still understand, and tell Asta to keep the road if he ever changes his mind. Yami and Finral left in a portal, and Asta would help clean up with the destruction done to the village, and eventually leave to Hodge Village and went back to training. Time skipped later to 6 months of training, where Asta and Yuna were currently saying goodbye to their family. Before they were about to leave, Yuna actually did something surprising and began floating and flew to the direction of the capital. This would honestly surprise Asta, as he didn't think he did think that Yuna would get stronger, but to think he'd progress this much in 6 months to actually learn how to fly using his wind magic. Asta then yelled Shazam and joined Yuna and flew towards the capital as well. Both boys eventually arrived in the capital, and Asta would make their way and both of them would make their way to the Magic Knights entrance exam stadium. Asta would receive strange looks from the examinees due to the strange clothes he was wearing, but most of the people there mainly kept to themselves. The exam would soon commence with the captains entering the stadium, with Asta noticing Yami and giving him a large grin. Now, unlike in canon, Asta would actually do pretty good in these tests given to him, considering he did have magic. He didn't need to ride a broom because he could fly, he was capable of using lightning to create a dragon, and he was also able to pour mana into the sea, making a tree. Although his tree was a different color compared to the other examinees. The last test was a combat test, and Asta would be fighting a nobleman with ice magic. The noble tried to show up Asta by attacking Asta with large barrage of shards and icicles, although unfortunately for him, Asta was just too fast and easily dodged the ice. Hell, it was so easy that Asta may as well not have been trying. The battle was short as Asta speed blitzed right in front of him and gave him a good punch with low grade lightning to knock him out, resulting in Asta winning the match. The combat portion of the test would soon end, and all the examinees would be called out to see if any Magic Knight squad would want them. For just like in canon, all squads would pick him, and he would go with the Golden Dawn squad. When it was Asta's turn, everyone was surprised of what Captain Asta would. Everyone was surprised, as again, all captains would have their hand raised for Asta. Just what are these new batches of Magic Knights? An examiner would think to themselves. Asta already knew which squad he wanted to choose the moment he entered the Magic Knights entrance exam. "I choose the Black Bulls," Asta said, shocking everyone who heard this. Though, unbeknownst to Asta, he chose the Black Bulls without realizing they are the worst squad in the Clover Kingdom. But that didn't really matter. From the little interaction Asta had with Yami, he thought he was a pretty cool guy and wanted to be in the squad. Plus, regardless of what squad he was, it didn't matter. He was going to rise up in the ranks and become the Wizard King. The Magic Knight selection process would soon finish, and Fenrir would make a portal for them to arrive at the Black Bull's hideout. As they were walking towards the entrance, the door would blast open, and the first thing Asta would see was nothing but pure chaos. Two guys were fighting, a girl was sitting on a chair eating an enormous amount of food, a woman looked passed out drunk on the couch, and much, much more. Yami would yell at them to quiet down and stop breaking stuff, with them soon settling down. They eventually noticed Asta, which wasn't really hard due to the fact that he was still in his Shazam costume and releasing a very intense mana. "So who's the new guy?" Magnus said, the first one to ask. "Oh right, my name is..." Asta paused for a minute until he realized he was still in his Shazam form. "Wait, hold on a minute. Shazam!" Asta yelled as lightning struck and Asta was turned back into his regular form, surprising and intriguing the remaining Black Bull members, including Yami and Finral, as they didn't actually see Asta in his regular form. "Hello, my name is Asta. I'm from Hodge Village, and as of today, I'll be joining the Black Bulls," Asta yelled out. They would all wonder if Asta had some type of transformation magic, but Asta explained that he had this power called Shazam, which every time he said the word Shazam, he would transform. They would all be fascinated by Asta and the various abilities it would give him. With these abilities, Asta was able to obliterate every initiation test Magna gave him. The last one was Asta's combat with Luck, which was Asta's combat testing. And Luck was eager to test out Asta. He can feel the magic power that Asta will, and he just knew he was as strong as Captain Yami. However, instead of just Luck, Magna would also be fighting against Asta as well. The moment the fight started, Magna would be shooting fireballs at Asta, with Luck being focusing on close quarters and trying to attack Asta at his blind spot. Asta would dodge and deflect all of Magna's fireballs and would counter Luck's fast punches and kicks. They were definitely a good team, although unfortunately Asta was overall stronger, was overall stronger, and his speed was more than enough to overpower the both of them, easily knocking out Magna with a punch and Luck with a spinning kick. This would make Asta the winner, as he was now a member of the Black Bulls officially. Asta still had the robe that Yami had gave to him and decided to put it on in his Shazam state. Although when Asta put on the robe, something strange would happen. It would fuse with his white cape, as the cape now was black with the Black Bulls insignia on it, making Asta smile. It was the next day, and Magna would give Asta a tour of the Black Bulls hideout, with Asta being excited with each room they visited. Magna also mentioned that there was a new recruit, and he would soon meet this person once they finished the tour. As they made their way to the hall, the front door would open, and Asta would be stunned at the pretty girl in front of him. This girl, being Noelle Silva, would question what royal family Asta was, from which, but Asta would, to her disappointment, say that he was a commoner from Hodge Village. This would cause Noelle to be mad, as to think how could such a commoner talk to her so casually. This would also cause Asta to be angry. Just because she was royalty doesn't mean she can treat people differently. Noelle would be annoyed at what Asta would say, and would attempt to fire a water ball at him, although the water ball swerved and hit Magna instead. Noelle tried to play it off by saying he was just in the way, and she didn't even want to be in the Black Bull squad anyways, and threw her robe away and stormed off. Asta would actually feel a bit disappointed, because he couldn't lie to himself. He found Noelle quite attractive, although her personality was, less desirable. It would be the next day, with Asta wanting to explore around the capital some more before he left, he noticed that Noelle would be practicing her magic by trying to hit a target on a tree with her water magic. Asta continued watching her practice her magic, but he saw her failing at it. He wanted to help her, but he couldn't really give her insight on exactly what she was doing wrong, considering he wasn't in his Shazam state and didn't have the wisdom of Solomon right now. But he then thought to himself, if he just went up to Noelle and transformed into his Shazam state, he could probably help her with her magic control. "Hey Noelle!" Asta yelled, making the girl turn at him in surprise and in panic, as she was not only caught having poor magic control, but was also afraid that Asta was going to mock her. This inner turmoil would cause Noelle to lose control of her magic, as she was then enveloped by a large ball of water with more streams of water spraying out. Whoa, Noelle, chill! Shazam! Asta yelled, quickly transforming into a Shazam state as he flew away from the lashing streams of water. The ruckus would alert the other Black Bull members, as they would see Noelle has completely lost control of her magic, and was now in the large body of water. If we don't do anything, she's eventually gonna drown. "Think you got this, kid?" Yami asked us, turning to Asta, with Asta getting in gear, and flew towards the giant ball of water, just fast enough to quickly get Noelle out of the water. But just enough so that he wouldn't injure her. The water would soon dispel, as Noelle was no longer able to help supply the spell with magic. Noelle would slowly gain conscious, and would be both flustered and scared. Flustered because Asta was holding her bridal style, and scared because she was worried that Asta would begin to mock her. However, Noelle would be surprised by Asta's next words. "Whoa, you have such insane magic power," Asta said with a grin on his face. This would surprise Noelle, as Asta would essentially say that if she just needs help controlling her magic, he'd be glad to help. Hell, he and the remaining Black Bulls will be willing to help her if she would just let them. For the first time in Noelle's life, she actually felt like she was in a place where she can belong in. With some hesitation, she would take Asta's hand, and she would now accept being a member of the Black Bull squad. Time skip later. Over the course of the next couple of days, Asta would mostly be training and helping around people in the commoner and noble realms of the Clover Kingdom. This mainly took in the form of stopping robberies and saving people from natural disasters. And during training sessions, he would mostly spend his time with Noelle. He discovered that her poor magic control was due to the fact that she poured too much unnecessary mana into her spells, and it caused them to either disperse or misdirect. Asta speculated that part of this was probably a mental issue that Noelle needed help with, but for now Noelle just needed to practice the basics. So Asta would have her manipulate bodies of water from bowls, cups, and lakes with the use of mana instead of actually producing water herself. This form of training was to help her control already existing water by making it take forms and shapes. They would do this for a couple of days, and when they weren't training, they would just talk to each other and get to know each other. Say, Noelle, why did you join the Black Bulls in the first place? Please, I didn't decide to join. It was my brother's decision. Noelle explained that she told Asta that her brother was the captain of the Silver Eagles. Though I guess it makes sense. He wouldn't want his worthless sister to tarnish his squad's name. Don't you dare say that. You are not worthless. You are a hard-working mage that has so much potential even a blind man can see it. And anyone who tells you otherwise, just send their asses straight to hell. Asta yelled, making Noelle scared, but also red in the face to think that someone as powerful as Asta would hold her in such high regard. They continued to talk some more until the day would end and they went back to their rooms. The next day would come and Asta and Noelle will actually be assigned their first mission with Magna to take down some boars from Saucy Village. The mission seemed easy enough, although the only problem was with Noelle how she was actually gonna get there, considering she didn't have the proper magic control to actually ride a broom properly. I got it. I'll just carry you to Saucy Village, Asta said with his arms stretched out. Needless to say, Noelle was very flustered with the idea, but she didn't oppose of it. But she did tell Asta that she was royalty and not to get any funny ideas. The three mages left the Saucy Village, and most of what happened in Cannes would go exactly the same, but Asta and Magna taking out the boars, the three mages getting into Saucy Village and confront Heat and his men. It's safe to say that the fight didn't last long for Heat and his men, as Asta was just too fast for them, as he sent bolts of lightning electrocuting them so they would pass out. Unfortunately for them, Heat and his men would end up sacrificing themselves, not selling out their leader, and considering Asta prevented most of the casualties, no one would be able to unlock her Sea Dragon's Cradle spell. Though they were still able to get the magic stone from the village chief's son, so that was a win in their book, they guessed. When they reported back to the hideout, Yami said that the mages in the castle will look into more of it. He also said there was some good news. For once, the Black Bulls earned 6 stars from the Wizard King himself. This would actually surprise the squad in general, as they mostly got negative stars. 1 star was for helping the village out in Saucy Village, and the other 5 stars were for the deeds Asta has been doing around the commoner and noble realm. Now they were just at 25 negative stars, making Asta face fall in the ground hearing how they can actually get negative stars. With that said, the other piece of good news was that they got their wages and could spend it however they like. Asta planned on sending most of it back home and used the rest of it to go shopping with Vanessa and Noelle. Overall, it would be a pretty fun time for Asta, as he wouldn't receive a mission in the next 2 days from the Wizard King himself to explore the dungeon. But before that, our setting comes to the Diamond Kingdom, just a few days before Asta goes on his dungeon mission. A man with short blonde hair, wearing tinted glasses and a lab coat, would be sadistically smiling at the results of his new creation. Who would have thought combining your mineral magic with the use of that girl's magic and demonic enchantment would result in a third magic attribute, Mars? This was Mars, one of the Diamond Kingdom's shining generals. Now, Mars, what is your purpose again? To destroy my enemies and forever serve the Diamond Kingdom, Master Morris. Mars said to the man known as Morris, aka the magic scholar who took control of the Diamond Kingdom and began performing experiments on children to create super soldiers. Hell, he even delved into more demonic arts of magic, attaining more power and control. I wonder how we should test your new ability, Morris mused, although he was interrupted when he received a report saying a dungeon appeared within the borders. With that in mind, Morris knew of the perfect test to try out his new tool. As the scene now fades to black until the next day. And that is part 2 of What If Asta was Shazam. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Also, I don't normally like doing this, but please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, that sort of good jazz. Also, leave suggestions of what other Black Clover what ifs you would like to do. Sorry, this what if was actually, I was hoping to get this what if like a week, but it actually meant out being 2 weeks. But yeah, I do hope you liked the video. Comment down what you like about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
She took me by my hand and said let's dance the pain away. The way her body moving, she don't even gotta say. We grew out through the night, I rocked her body till the day. You need a cooler, babe, I got a crystal, you can stay the night. I'll make you feel alright. Please don't lose your life.